Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano, and I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is nutrition, and it's about McDonald's. So if you follow me on Twitter, @HealthyChefDude, I post a lot about McDonald's, the dangers of McDonald's, the dangers of fast foods, all that kind of crap, okay? So I get a lot of positive responses from people, ton of retweets. So here's at Food Safety Guru 1, Food Safety Guru on Twitter. Hi Marcus, should McDonald's, this is a great question. Hi Marcus, should McDonald's be legally liable for their customers' health? What about the customer's responsibility? Food Safety Guru, that is awesome. That's an awesome question. Because companies like McDonald's, the corn syrup industry, all these fast food manufacturing, these processes, these big industries, they should be responsible. If you're going to put aspartame in food, if you're going to put trans fats in food, if you're going to put this kind of stuff into foods, drinks, you got to claim responsibility. I mean, it's just, enough is enough. I mean, the problem is you're in an industry and it's all about the money. It's the money, the money, the money, the money. So for years, the cigarette industry deceived us. They just flat out deceived us. It's like this in other industries. Oh, this food is safe, this is safe. If you're caught lying, like about vaccinations, about GMO foods, if you're trying to push this stuff through and trying to get it passed, and getting it passed and then serving it in mass quantities, I'm sorry, you should be 100% liable for that. Now here's the other side of the coin. The ADA, American Dietetic Association, okay? They're the ones who you have to, in 27 states and even more now, you have to be certified from them to preach nutrition in a state, or you could get arrested. In some states it's a felony. It's pretty bad offense. The ADA is actually funded by Pepsi, Coke, the corn syrup industry, pharmaceuticals, and the tune of $5 million a year. Private big industry contributes to them. So what happens with the ADA? They're taught, when you're an ADA nutritionist, dietitian, you're taught that all of a sudden, you're being taught by Coke and Pepsi and all these other companies that this stuff is fine because they're writing the criteria. So now they're manipulating how we're taught. So if most Americans want to make a good decision on food, they might go to a dietitian, and you say to a dietitian, you know, I've had many conversations with dietitians, that a spoonful of corn syrup is the same as eating a whole organic pear, that there's no difference. I'm sorry, any refined sugar is totally different than fruit in its natural form. Fruit has fiber and enzymes, so it's buffer the natural sugar. It's actually good for you. A spoonful of corn syrup is not good for you. A spoonful of sugar is not good for you. So most dietitians are based upon calorie counting, and a sugar's a sugar, a fat's a fat. So to them, you know, canola oil might be the same nutritive value as olive oil or flax oil because a fat's a fat, calories a calorie. So now you're teaching Americans this, kids in school are being taught this, we're being taught this on TV. So now you have consumers who are going to McDonald's and thinking a fat's a fat, a calorie is a calorie, and it's not the same. So now you have both sides here, one side misleading and educating, and the other side falling into this because it's recommended by the government, at the ADA, you know. So as consumers, we're being misled because big corporations don't want us to know the real truth about the dangers of what they're giving us, of what they're putting on our lawns, of what it's in our clothes, of every industry is like this. So it's all totally skewed and biased education, okay? And this has been going on for centuries. It started back in the 1600s with the Catholics. They realized that sugar was such a lucrative business, they went in and bought sugar plantations. If you were a doctor in the 1600s and the 1700s, you would teach your patients when they come in you were sick, to get off the sugar. Well, once the Catholics realized, well, gee, this is a conflict of interest, doctors are telling their patients to get off sugar, and we own sugar plantations. Well, what should we do about this? Guess what? they sponsored medical schools and rewrote medical literature. Then the word or the term quack came about. When you were a doctor now and you told your patients to get off of sugar, you are now considered to be practicing quackery. And that all came down from the Catholics owning the Catholic religion, church, owning the sugar plantations, making as much money as they could, and then rewriting medical literature in medical schools. So that's how this works. So now you have these authoritative figures like doctors and new dietitians that totally are clueless and giving advice to people that are just willing to take their advice, their misadvice, because it's all construed information. It's all paid for propaganda. It's all paid for science. It's all an agenda about money. So if you're a consumer, you have to do extra amount of work to be able to figure out, to read through this, see where the money's coming from, and really understand that, hey, you know what, a pear is different than a spoonful of corn syrup. And I've had this conversation with dietitians, and it's amazing that they just are so this. If you go to a hospital and you look at the food, I mean, the food is atrocious at most hospitals, atrocious. They should be taking responsibility. They should, if you're there because you're sick and you need to get better and they're giving you this crap, they give heart patients white flour, hamburgers. It's disgusting. You have to take responsibility for it. If you're McDonald's and you know that you're serving something like aspartame, you're serving this, you take responsibility for what you're serving to a certain extent. You have to, you know? If you're a food manufacturer, you have to. If you're a consumer, you have to do all this extra research, and it's hard to say, well, you know, you have to take responsibility. We're being misled on all what's good and what's really bad. So it's a good question by Food Safety Guru. If you're a consumer, I suggest that you read alternative holistic nutrition. You follow a holistic nutritionist. You find people that are promoting a healthy lifestyle by promoting the right kind of foods, because calories, you can eat as much calories as you want, but if it's the right food, it's the right food. If it's the wrong food, it's the wrong food. It's life or death when it gets in your body. Your cells know life or death. That's the bottom line. You know, you can eat tomatoes and avocados and onions and cucumbers and a little bit of olive oil and fresh lemon juice. You can take that equal amount of calories and that equal amount of French fries. Doesn't matter if there's only 100 calories in the French fries or 200. They're not good calories. They're not good for you. So you have to educate yourself, and it really takes a lot of work to educate. So, you know, you can't really blame a consumer that much, but at a certain point, stuff is obvious. If you're going to McDonald's all the time and, you know, there's tons of stuff to educate you, watch Super Size Me. Watch that documentary by Morgan Spurlock. It shows you what happens when you're on an excessive diet of McDonald's or an exclusive diet of that. And a lot of people are on diets very similar to that. And they think because they're getting their protein, their fats, their carbs, and it's all sort of in line that they're okay, and a French fry is considered a vegetable. It's just screwed up. So good question, Food Safety Guru. I mean, I don't know if you want to weigh in on this. It's really a web. It's really a disastrous web out there, what has been led to us. And this cheap food is so profitable. Trans fats, all this stuff is so, they make trans fats so it lasts longer, and it's all about shelf life. They pasteurize and homogenize dairy because it's all about longer shelf life. And then they scrutinize people that are making raw, real, unpasteurized, unhomogenized dairy. They scrutinize it like something's wrong with it, and you get arrested for it in a lot of states. And this is what people think, well, gee, raw milk is bad for you, raw cheese is bad for you. I'd rather go drink homogenized milk. Now, I'm not for drinking milk, and I'm not for eating cheese, but if you had a choice of raw, organic, grass-fed cheese, unpasteurized, unhomogenized versus, you know, cheese, that pasteurized cheese, there's a big difference in the two, but we're being scrutinized for the people that are producing the raw cheeses, the raw dairy. So it's just a messed up system. The system has to be totally flipped upside down. And, you know, the only thing you can do as a consumer if you want to eat healthy is just educate. Try different diets in your body, try different foods. You'll understand when you feel food that doesn't agree with you. Your body gets so sensitive. When I eat wheat now, my body, my stomach is just like, oh, I'm gassy, I'm bloated. But when you're eating wheat every day and you're gassy and bloated just constantly, you don't understand the difference of putting that food back into your diet after it hasn't been there and properly rotating things. I mean, people have wheat, soy, corn every single day. It's in all of our food. Do proper food rotations. Get off this stuff and, you'll see differences and you'll feel differences. And a lot of this is common sense. A lot of us know that a French fry, the calories in a French fry is different than the calories in an avocado. We totally know this. It's common sense. So at some point, you know, we just have to be able to push aside all this propaganda from big corporations and industry and say, no, I'm changing, I'm standing up, I'm sticking up, and I'm making a change. Thanks for watching. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. If you have any questions, please email me, chef@chefonamission.com. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe to my channel, and please pass it on. Thanks for watching.